Let's switch gears to a historic week in college basketball. Game score isn't some century-old, dusty metric. Didn't meaningfully exist in the college basketball record until the early 1980s when box scores finally became complete enough to capture single-game impact in one number. Even within that much narrower, modern era, what happened this week is almost impossible to contextualize. In the same week, Paul McNeil Jr. and Dennis Parker Jr. produced two of the top 16 single-game game scores ever recorded. That list spans more than 4 decades, thousands of high-usage scores, and countless 40 and 50-point nights. And once you strip away the noise, non-Division I opponents, multiple overtimes, 50-plus minute games, these two performances rise even higher. According to Sports Reference, this is rare territory. Let's start with Paul McNeil Jr. 47 points, 27 minutes. Let that settle for a second. McNeil dropped 47 points in just 27 minutes against Texas Southern on December 17, 2025. His game score was 44.4, which puts him inside the top 16 performances of all time. But the raw number isn't even the wild part. It's the compression. He didn't just score. He condensed an elite scoring night into barely over half a game. He went 12 for 18 from the floor. He hit 11 threes, 11. He didn't miss a single free throw, 12 for 12. He had 10 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 turnovers, and committed just one personal foul. That efficiency borders on theoretical. Nearly 67% from the field, a true shooting percentage, just shy of 1.000, and he did all of this on only 18 shot attempts. There are top 25 guards who take 18 shots by the under-12 timeout. This wasn't a volume game, this was surgical. And unlike many of the performances ahead of him on the game score leaderboard, McNeil didn't benefit from overtime. He didn't pad stats in garbage time. He didn't get dragged back onto the floor because the game was close. North Carolina State won 108-72. McNeil was done early because the game was already over. Of the 15 games ahead of him historically, 5 required 3 or 4 overtimes. 2 came against non-Division I competition. When you isolate regulation only, Division I performances, McNeil's night becomes one of the most efficient scoring explosions the modern college game has ever seen. Now let's talk about Dennis Parker Jr. 53 points, 33 minutes, no inflation. Parker's performance against Coppin State on December 14th, 2025 ranked 7th all-time in game score at 45.9. That puts him above some of the most famous scoring games of the last 40 years. And it did so without the usual caveats and no overtime, no 40-shot night, no frantic pace created by a one-possession game. Radford won 107-77. Parker shot nearly 80% overall. He was 9 of 10 inside the arc. He knocked down 10 threes, and he did it without monopolizing possessions. This was precision scoring at scale. Efficiency and volume coexisting in a way that almost never happens at this level. There's also an undeniable through line here. Parker transferred from NC State, where he played on the Wolfpack's Final Four team, in the same week that McNeil authored a historic night for NC State. Parker produced one that still traces back to it, and that connection matters. When you zoom out and look at the game score leaderboard, the pattern becomes obvious. Many of the performances above McNeil and even a few above Parker required 3 or 4 overtimes, 50 to 60 minutes of playing time, shot totals north of 30 attempts, or non-Division I opponents. Those games were spectacular, but they were also structurally inflated. McNeil and Parker didn't need any of that, and they climbed into the top 16 by doing the hardest thing in basketball analytics. Scoring efficiently at extreme volume in regulation while ending the game early. That combination is rarer than any raw point total. Across more than 4 decades of modern game score data, seeing one top 16 performance in a season is uncommon. Seeing 2 in the same week, both tied directly or indirectly to NC State, with Parker also being a rotation player on a Final Four team, and both achieved without overtime inflation or statistical padding, that's an anomaly. McNeil delivered one of the most efficient scoring games ever recorded. Parker delivered one of the most complete. Together, they created a week that bends the modern record book, and it forces a rethink of what elite single-game scoring actually looks like. All right, that's a wrap for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you got some good insights. If you enjoyed the episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and share it with anyone who'd find it useful. And don't forget to check out theresourcenexus.com for more in-depth analysis. Until next time, check you later.
Cool. Guess we'll see you around.
All right, check you later.
Bye.
Wait, man, why are you always such a dork, man?
What are you talking
Check you
about?
later. Check you later.